No, it's your turn to wash dishes. No, I did it the last time. What do you mean? You did it. I'm gonna tell Mom. You're so annoying. Have you ever had a disagreement with a brother or sister or any family member, Alex?
Yes.
And how did it make you feel?
Well, it's sometimes due to different emotions, but there's a lot of them.
Okay, now, very, very true. Sometimes it can make you mad, sometimes it can make you sad, angry. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to read 2 books about a sister and a brother and how sometimes they don't get along very well. The first book I'm going to read is Rotten Richie and the Ultimate Dare by Patricia Polacco. As if life wasn't bad enough, having to endure my rotten red-headed older brother all summer, my mom, brother, and I had to move away from Grandma and Grandpa's farm in Union City to Battle Creek to be closer to Mom's teaching job. Now I was going to be the new kid at school. But even worse than that, my rotten brother was going to be in the same school as I was. He was the black hole in my universe, the embarrassment of my life, the frog in my punch bowl, the spider in my cereal, the wart on my cookie, the slug in my jello, the snake in my soup. In other words, this new school was going to be a disaster, all because of him. I mean, he picked his nose and looked at it. He chewed his mouth open. He spat when he talked. He made rude noises with his armpits and odor. My rotten, red-headed older brother stank. He reeked of stale bubblegum mixed with rancid peanut butter and putrid gym socks with overturns of wet puppy. At school, he was everywhere. Our first day at Fremont Elementary School, Richie put fake dog poop in the middle of the hall floor. He even poured water onto it so it looked real. Then he stood and watched as the whole school was plastered against the wall trying to walk around it. He'd struck again. Then, just as I passed, he hollered, "Hey, look! There's my little sister!" I wanted to die. If it were you at a new school on your first day and your sibling did that, how would it make you feel? Jasmine?
I would have felt embarrassed.
Definitely.
The same.
Alex, you too? I agree. As time passed, I managed to make some good friends. After all, they knew it wasn't my fault to have someone like Richie in my family. One night at the dinner table, I was telling my mom about ballet class and our upcoming recital. I heard the mayor will be there. His daughter dances at Miss Barrett's. And Mama, Miss Barrett picked me to do the special adagio with Paul LeBlanc. I squealed, "He's the best dancer in the whole school." My brother snorted and rolled his eyes. "Look, Mama, I do a grand tour jeté, an Iran de jambe en l'air, and almost 36 relevés." I got up and demonstrated. Mom clapped and cheered. Have any of you ever participated in extracurricular activities?
I want to.
Yes, all of you? Oh, wow.
I want to.
Oh,
but
okay.
I haven't done it yet.
I've done football.
Football?
Softball.
Softball?
I want to do soccer
And you
or
want to do
basketball.
soccer. Those are all excellent choices.
Or basketball.
I can do that with my eyes closed, Richie Crow. You cannot. Can too. Cannot too. Well, ballet is harder than that dumb old hockey any day, I hollered. It's not. All hockey is skating around in circles with a cricket stick chasing a little lump of rubber. Babies can do that, I bellowed. Stop it, both of you, Mom scolded. What difference does it make as long as you both are doing what you enjoy? All the rest of the evening, Richie danced around me on his tippy toes, making rude sounds. "Tweet, tweet," he teased, and just before I got into bed, he stuck his head in my doorway and made kissing sounds and said, "Trisha's in love with Paul LeBlanc. Tweet, tweet, tweet." So what do you think is going to happen? What predictions can we make about the rest of the story?
They're still gonna complain.
They're gonna get in an argument about it.
Okay. Yes, we'll see what's going to happen. We're going to stop right here, and we're going to do the story structure based on the story elements, which are character, setting,
Settings,
problem.
plot, solution, and what the
theme.
heck?
And theme.
For today, we're only going to focus on the character, setting, and plot. Remember, we talked about those before. So, for this first story, who are the characters in Rotten Richie and the
sister.
Ultimate Dare?
Rotten Richie and the sister.
Okay,
And the
Richie,
mom.
the sister,
And the mom.
and the mom. Jasmine, can you tell me what the setting is?
The school
School
And
and the house.
and the house.
Oh.
And Antonio, can you tell me the plot? We're only going to do the beginning because we've only read the beginning of the story.
Well, ever since they moved from their grandma, it's turned into a big mess with the sister and brother because you know they're being embarrassed with the pranking, and now Big Brother's gone all out.
Little.
So he did a prank and they keep arguing, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Richie does prank
I can't. Sure.
and they argue about their activities. Okay, so now I'm going to read the second book. The second book is My Rotten Red-Headed Older Brother. Sorry. My brother and our mother and I all lived with my grandparents on their farm in Union City, Michigan. Now, my babushka, my grandmother, knew lots of things. She knew just how to tell a good story. She knew how to make ordinary things magical, and she knew how to make the best chocolate cake in Michigan. After she told my brother and me a grand tale from her homeland, we'd always ask, "Bubby, is that true?" She'd answer, "Of course it's true, but it may not have happened." Then she'd laugh. Now, I knew that she loved me all right, but I couldn't quite understand how she could even like my older brother, Richard. He had orange hair that was like wire, he was covered in freckles, and looked like a weasel with glasses. The one thing that my Bubby didn't seem to know was how perfectly awful my brother really was. Mind you, he was always nice whenever she was around us, but as soon as she'd leave, he would do something terrible to me and laugh. What does Richie look like? Antonio?
A weasel because of his red hair, glasses, and freckles?
Exactly. That's exactly how the sister described him. Good answer. There were so many things that I couldn't stand about him. The worst thing that he was telling me he could do just about everything better than I. Bet I can pick more blackberries than you. No, you can't. Can so. Cannot. Can. Not. Can. He whispered so low that I could hardly hear him. Not, I screamed back. What can't the sister stand about her brother?
He can do
Jasmine?
Then he could do everything better than her. Oh.
Yes, exactly. We both picked berries for most of the afternoon. Well, he upped and did it. He not only picked more berries than I, he set a record that wasn't even challenged for the next 10 years. You make me sick, Richard Barber, I yelled at him. Then he smiled that smile that only a rotten, red-headed older brother could smile. I guess I would have to face it. He could run the fastest, climb the highest, throw the farthest, sit the longest, get the dirtiest, burp the loudest, and spit the farthest. He had no equal, certainly not me. And I'm 4 years older than you.
LOL.
Always have been and always will be, he sneered. What is Richie good at?
Everything.
sitting longer.
everything that she's not better at.
Such as Jasmine, sitting,
Getting dirtier.
getting dirtier. Antonio,
Climbing.
climbing, throwing,
Running.
burping. So what do you think is going to happen from here?
It's gonna be very.
They're
What
gonna,
do
like,
you
challenge each
predict?
other.
They're gonna challenge.
You think they're going to challenge each other?
And she's
For
gonna
longer,
win.
and she might win.
And she might win,
The
But-
brother might win.
but he's better than her. I guess we'll have to see. We're going to stop right here, and we're going to do our story structure on my rotten red-headed older brother. So who are the characters in this story?
Richie,
Richie?
the sister, and this time a grandma or a babushka,
Babushka,
babushka.
or grandmother, or grandma. Jasmine, can you tell me where the setting,
In Michigan, no, yeah, Michigan,
Michigan, in what? I heard what?
a farm.
A farm.
Michigan's
Farm. Okay, and just like the first story structure we just did, we're only going to talk about the beginning of the plot because we've only read the beginning. So Antonio, tell me the plot for this story.
Well, the plot was that
There's a green thing on your toe.
the plot is that the two siblings are being very competitive with each other, and that tears them apart.
The siblings
Okay.
are being competitive. Good answers. Great job, class. Okay, so now that we've completed the story structure for both of the books, we're now going to talk about compare and contrast. Remember, we previously learned that when you compare something, you are telling how they are similar or alike. When you contrast something, you are telling them how they're different. Remember the clue words for both compare and contrast. So, can you tell me some similarities and differences for Rotten Richie and the Ultimate Dare and my rotten older brother? Antonio?
They have similar authors.
Author? Okay. They both have the same author. Jasmine?
They both have the same word, rotten, in the title.
Okay. Word rotten in the title. Alex?
They both always try to compete with each other. That
No.
Maybe a little bit, but
It's more of the brother, not very.
okay. Yeah.
But-
So that's more on just the rotten red-headed brother, right?
A competitive brother.
Competitive. They compete with each other. Okay. What's another difference, Antonio?
The
In
the
Rotten
brother-
Richie.
the brother in Rotten Richie is a pranker,
Okay.
and that makes the little sister embarrassed.
Okay. So does a prank.
it makes the sister embarrassed.
Okay. Sister is embarrassed.
Oh,
What about the characters? Jasmine?
They both have the same two main characters.
Okay. Main characters, Richie. But what about the other characters?
there's
the
only
mom and the babushka.
Okay, so the mom is on Rotten Richie and the grandmother.
Babushka.
Okay, so we're gonna